Good morning, everybody. Josh Wiesel, Breakthrough Real Estate Property Management and Handyman Services. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Go ahead and grab your coffee, have a seat, and let's enjoy Coffee and a Story. Before we get to our story, if you appreciate all this information, all the content that we're giving you, whether it's real estate related, generic info that everybody would appreciate, please hit that like button below right now and then pop over to the other side, hit subscribe, and you'll be updated, notified whenever we release anything awesome. And if you enjoy these stories, we're sure you're gonna love what we have to come. All right, let's get right to today's story. Today's Coffee and a Story has to do with one of my fastest clients ever. So this guy, Ron, referred to me by, I'm pretty sure it was the guy from last week, same guy. But Ron had never been to Surprise. I think he maybe been to Arizona once or twice. He lived in Canada. And not only did his buddy buy a home, but it just so happened his biggest competitor in the business, the steel manufacturing business up north in Canada, bought a nice home here in Surprise. So not only did he need to buy a home in Surprise, but he had to buy a bigger, nicer home than the two buddies, because that's just who Ron was. He has to have the nicer, better of things. Gotta love those people, man. They're awesome. His time is very valuable and he does everything very efficiently. So by the time he was referred to me, I had sent him maybe a week's worth of homes, and he'd seen a couple that he liked, right? So he called me up. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and book a flight. I'll be down, I think it was in 2 days. Can you go ahead and pick me up from the airport? I was like, sure, no problem. Pick people up from the airport all the time. I was like, great, I'll see you then. So he kept me updated on his flight schedule. And of course, I think this was right around that same time period, like 2010 or so. And of course, younger, hungry agent. So, I researched, I'm pretty sure it was every home in Surprise, because he wanted to be fairly close to my other client, right, who referred him, and found some beautiful homes. And because I was a new agent, I'm pretty sure I even found like 12 homes, right? I think I wanted to show him potentially 12 homes in one day. You know, everybody knows that's the right thing to do, right? So I pick him up from the airport, I show him the list of homes. Instead of just trusting what I had, you know, up to 12 homes to look at throughout the whole day, he actually just boom, boom, picked through. He's like, I want to see these 3. It's like, oh, okay, no problem. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh crap, we have appointments, blah, 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 blah. So I called that agent for the first home that he wanted to see, no particular order. He just threw 3 at me. So I called the first one on top, and fortunately they were available for us to pop in immediately. So we look at that first home, and I'm like, sorry, Ron. While you're looking here, I need to call and, you know, take care of these other showings and whatnot really fast. So I'll be right back. Let me know if you have any questions, yada, 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 right? So I'm outside, and I'm not even joking. 30 seconds later, he comes outside. Okay, we can go. Okay, I haven't even called the next one yet. Hold on a second, please. So set up the next one. We go to that one. And again, I'm like, Ron, forgive me, but I gotta, you know, I needed to continue trying to take care of all this stuff. So he goes through, I'm on the phone. It's still ringing for the third home. Okay, he comes out. It's like, I'm ready to go. Let's go see this third one. Come on. And Ron, hold on. So schedule that appointment. Fortunately, everything's kind of lining up for him to do what he's doing. So we go to that third home. Okay, and now I'm like, sorry, Ron, I just have to cancel these other people. I don't want to be rude, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this time I'm messaging people, emailing. Keep in mind, this was 2010, so it wasn't as convenient. We didn't have showing time or anything like that set up. You actually had to contact agents. So I was text messaging and leaving messages, and he's been in there this whole time. So I was like, sweet. So about, 5 minutes later, I come back inside, and he's like, I like it. Let's go and place an offer. Oh, okay. Let me check the comps out, make sure we're updated, call the agent, and he's like, great, can you take me back to the airport? Sure. He's like, yeah, if you can't, write up the offer. I'll have it signed as soon as I land. and we'll go from there. I was like, okay. So all the way to the airport, we're talking about the house. Okay, how much he loves it, how everything's, you know, exactly what he was looking for, how he's a cash buyer. He wants to close as fast as he can. And it's like, let's do this. It's like, okay, great. So I'm, you know, taking all the notes down, getting everything, you know, ready as safely as possible while I'm driving. And so drop him off at the airport. On the way back, I'm calling the agent, got an offer coming your way, blah, 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 motivated, cash, etc., etc., etc. So they're excited, and I hang up, and it's like, is this guy too good to be true? It's like, this took barely 3 hours to show him these homes and get him back to the airport. He says he's gonna sign this offer when he gets home. Oh man, right? So it was almost like I didn't want to let anybody know because I didn't want to get any my hopes up if it was gonna fail. So as soon as I get home, of course, I'm gonna bust out the offer, write it all up, send it over to him, ready for him via e-sign. So I'm just waiting. About, I don't know, I think his flight was about 3 or 4 hours. So, you know, 2 hours after I finished and sent it to him, I get a ding in my email. Ron signed your offer. Holy cow, seriously? So I call him up, I'm like, hey Ron, glad your plane landed. Hey buddy, can you send me over a proof of funds cash so that way, you know, I can submit this offer? He's like, no problem, I'll have it right now. 2 minutes later, sends me proof of funds cash. Let's say lots of money in his account. So, and he basically wanted to come in almost full asking price because I guess he just didn't want to mess with it. So, submit the offer. Found out literally 9 p.m. that night, the sellers accepted it. So we closed the following Thursday. And he wanted to close much faster. Unfortunately, due to the HOAs there in Surprise, there's only so fast you can close, right? But it was a 1 week close. He ended up keeping that home for years and years and years. We managed it. And it was freaking, to this day, he was one of my most unique and fastest clients. If we're literally only referring to clients that you're picking up and showing homes, I picked him up from the airport and returned him back to the airport within 3 hours. He'd never been to Surprise before. He had no idea anything other than the fact that one of his really closest friends and his biggest competitor had just bought a house in Surprise. So of course, he had to buy a bigger, better home. How awesome is that? If you have any stories, I mean, what's your fastest sale, right? What's your most unique client, right? Please leave your comments below. Please share your stories. We'd love to feature your stories too, if possible. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button right now and then hit subscribe so that way you're notified whenever we're releasing new content. Our goal is to provide the best stories, most interesting different things pertaining to real estate or just whatever possible. All right, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.